What's up, Samurai? We are back as more. Yes, we're going through a loading screen. There's something's a fishy going on with the club world for some dumb reason, but I'll talk about that later in today's video. So today we are going to be doing the Lunar Lancer versus the U10 Leviathan, and thankfully, I'm actually recording this intro after the fact because I ended up just getting invited to a Leviathan from someone and then, got the footage of all of that. So you'll see that in a moment. First of all, I wanted to just talk about the Lancer's strengths and weaknesses. Obviously, the strength being this class is insanely good for speed farming. You can get your movement speed over 400. It's actually ridiculous. I've got other videos that highlight that are probably like a year or two old by now, whenever the Lancer got its rework. I honestly don't remember when. Insanely fun class, but I think it's going to be no surprise how weak this is going to end up being on bosses. Also, excuse the slight clickbait. We're basically at 47 KPR. Like, come on, we're a little bit off and it's not that big a deal. Now, as far as gear is concerned, I forgot to put food on. I'm sorry. I know that's a big problem, but whatever. The other thing too is, as usual, I'm not going to be using the ring effect, which would make a bit of a difference, but generally speaking, not that much of a difference, because when you compare the Lunar Lancer to other classes, obviously the other ones thrive. But we've got our Shadow Torch, we've got a C4 face, we've got a C4 hat. Our attack speed, as you can see, is very, very close to the cap, so it doesn't really matter that we don't have it on this. My crit hit is actually pretty high, but unfortunately I can't really trade that off for anything, because funny enough, this crit hit here, like all I could do is swap that for max health. But anyways, we're going to be using the Solarian as the subclass ability, which is going to suffer a little bit because I took my physical set off my Solarian to put it onto my Lancer. But again, it's not going to make as much of a difference as you would think. And then also going to be using the Scorpius ally. So yeah, without further ado, here's us fighting the Leviathan. Shoutouts to my boy Lucky_VRC, because he invited me over to a Leviathan. This is going to be, well, it's going to be interesting. I got to try and remember to use my grapple and, more importantly, use my lunar leap into a grapple so that I get the physical bonus. I did ask these other guys to let me just take care of this guy alone, so hopefully it all goes over well. I see somebody else attacking, but generally speaking, yeah, we're just going to be seeing our damage kind of do what it do, because, we are talking about Lunar Lancer here, so unfortunately there is a side effect of that, because we all know Lancer not good, lol, especially when I press number 2 and my ult doesn't cast. Now, as far as I recall, I don't know why my flash just aren't working. Are his animations busted? That's kind of annoying. Okay, well, anyways, as far as I know, just left clicking over and over is the best result when we're in our ult, but for some reason our pots don't seem to dominate our base attack. Somebody else is attacking, but it seems like they're considerably weak. Not that I'm like strong either, honestly speaking. Like, it's this is not going well. But at least I'm doing some damage numbers to it. So it seems like I can use a flask while I'm in my normal form. I didn't know that when we were in our ult. Yeah, like, look at this. I can spam my flask, but it just won't dominate over our base ability there. So I have to very, very meticulously, like, stop, use a flask, and then swap back to attacking. And even then, I have to be at a dead stop. I didn't know Lunar Lancer was this broken. Like, that's actually kind of weird. I tried using my lance as well, and it just, yeah. I mean, honestly speaking, we knew this was happening. We knew that Lancer wasn't going to end up being god tier in terms of being a boss killer, but I thought that it would still be interesting, and we still do got to kind of go through all the paces with all of the classes. It's not like it's completely unreasonable. It's just, yeah, like, everybody is rightly so getting frustrated enough with how long this is taking me. Granted, we got quite a bit of significant damage when our ult and our potions actually freaking work. But yeah, it just, most of all, I really didn't know that this class was that broken. Like, yikes. That's so bad. Like, the real thing is, our damage wasn't bad. Right there at the end, you saw all of our damage is in our ult. And the reason why I think using your base attack when you're in your ult is the biggest output of damage is I just seem to have a remembrance. Like, I seem to remember that was the case, because the other abilities, you can get locked in your animation, or they just take way too long to wind up, or more importantly, when you're in your ult as the Lunar Lancer, you're actually like slowly draining your energy. And so the base attack gives us the most output of damage. It's the most bang for our buck, right? But yeah, either way, thank you guys for inviting me over here. I know that we did see some other classes attacking the Leviathan, but frankly speaking, it didn't look like they were doing that much damage anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, my closing thoughts towards it is just as expected. It's the Lancer. Obviously, you're not going to use it as a boss killer. Where the Lancer thrives, of course, is with its movement speed, and it actually is pretty good at defeating like dungeon enemies and stuff like that. What is going on in our club world, by the way? This has been happening to me earlier, where it's like really, really janky frame rate. Seems like it's showing up in the recording. I thought it was because of a mod, but I'm gonna bet, based on how slow the world loading is and stuff, that somebody ended up coming in here and secretly adding like a crap ton of pinatas or something, because usually that's what happens when things break like this. Like this is an old issue with this game, where people can easily like come in here and basically just throw down like hundreds, if not thousands of pinatas in a hidden spot. And it's a form of griefing. I don't know if that's the case. It could just be me, but for whatever reason, it's really, really bad here in the hub area. So I might have to walk through here as Shadow Hunter and see if I can find what is actually going on. Again, it might be completely unrelated because I'm not seeing anybody else complaining about it, but I thought that it was going to be related to a mod or something. I don't know. Anyways, it's extremely distracting, and that was one of the reasons why this video took me a little while to make today, is because I thought that this was a persistent problem that was going to happen everywhere, but it seems like it's just the club, so it's definitely an isolated problem. Oh god, this game. It's just so broken. Either way, yeah, my feedback towards the Lunar Lancer, should you main it for bosses? Heck no, there's other classes that do it far better. But if you want to end up being a good dungeon farmer or speed farmer, then yeah, you can definitely end up maining a class for that. Either way, thanks for watching. Smash like stuff for more. Buy the merch you want to support the channel. It is Thanksgiving here in Canada today, so I'm going to try my best to rush this video out to you guys. It might seem like some of the videos are rushed. That's because they are. I do have a lot of other things planned. There's also Steam Next Fest going on right now, so there's lots of demos for games that I'll probably end up doing as one-off videos, including some fancy VR games I've been waiting to play. But either way, that's why the streams are a little bit on the down low. I was considering streaming this today, just Trove in general, but then I knew, well, if I want to make it in time for Thanksgiving dinner at my parents', I got to get like a shorter video out today. But either way, thanks for watching. There, did it fix itself? Okay, yeah, it seems like it just fixed itself for no reason. So I honestly don't know what that was about. That was weird.